This is a beautiful, beautiful time of year. This is my favorite time of year because it's so fresh. I could do anything. I could really be anybody so far, you know? And by January 10th, I'm like, I'm me. Never mind. I had a lot of plans, but a week and a half. It's so early in the year, it's almost weird if you've already had a bad day. You know what I mean? But this is New York, so you know somebody has. I was on a bus on January 2nd and just heard a guy go, fuck, just to himself. I don't know what was going on in his life, but January 2nd, he was like, it's over. That's a wrap. Oh, it's crazy. I also love this time of year because it's the last little bit of runoff where you're still trying to return Christmas presents. Like the bad ones. Like you on the phone with customer service, like, no, I have the receipt, please. Like it's. And this is the thing. A lot of people give gifts and everything, but they don't know if they gave a good gift to the person, especially if they don't know them well, right? And my thing is, this is how you tell if it's a good gift in this present day we live in. If you didn't get a gift for someone from a store that was looted in 2020, that's not a good gift. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know what I mean? It's a very easy metric now because, look, I'm just saying, everything's free when we looting. And there are brands that know that they didn't get touched. Like, honestly, if I was a shop owner, I would be embarrassed if I showed up the morning after a riot and I get to my store, Nike store ransacked, Louis Vuitton store unrecognizable, and then my store pristine, not even broken glass. I'd be like, I gotta hang it up. I didn't know it would be like this. Can I burn it down and say it was part of the riot? Cause this is a shame. I remember that was a very specific time. This is my favorite thing about any riot that happened in the U.S. in 2020. There were some stores that boarded up that really didn't need to bother. Like, nobody talks about that, but there are a couple places that were like, oh, we gotta batten down the hatches. Like, no, you really don't, I promise. Nobody is checking for you, okay? There were brands that were feeling themselves. Like, I don't know if you remember this, but you can look this up. This is a real thing that happened. In 2020, during the protests, there were Sweet Greens that boarded up in preparation. Sweet Green. I want to meet the person who made the decision. I want to meet the person who was like, all right, it might get crazy out here in Seattle. And you know it when it gets crazy. You know what niggas love is arugula. So we got to hold it down, all right? Got to protect the inventory, okay? Oh, no, you don't need to bother. You know, I said all that to say if you got me a Christmas present this year, a gift card from Sweet Green, you fucked up. That wasn't the move. You bought me grass. Have y'all been watching that Squid Game show? Okay, if you haven't watched it, then genuinely, I'm begging you, don't watch it. Okay, if you don't know what Squid Game is as a show, Squid Game, the show is a Korean drama, all right? It's probably one of the best TV shows that we have that fully encapsulates the idea of capitalism and what we do to each other when we're lacking, when we have need, and when there's literal money floating over our heads, the links that will go, right? And even the show becoming a show is a Cinderella story because the guy that wrote it, he pitched it around the world for 10 years and nobody wanted it. Finally, Netflix bought it. They put it up on their platform. It became an international sensation. There's games, there's toys, there's everything. And then they made the game show, which is weird. That's pretty odd, because that means they also watched the show and they saw what a commentary was on the human psyche when it comes to money, when it comes to access and everything. And then they were like, yeah. We should do that. Yes, we should do that. Let's round up these pores and make them battle it out. We'll get 400 of the saddest stories you've ever heard in your fucking life. It's insane. And this is the other reason that I'm begging you not to watch it, okay? In the show Squid Game, the Korean drama, when you lose, you die. In the game show, when you lose, a pack goes off. It explodes on you, and it's black. It's not red. It's ink. Squid Game, very clever. And it explodes, but they still make the people fall like they died. And it feels like they test running killing a person in front of us. Do you know what I mean? Because when I was watching the show, the first person lost and then they fell, and I was like, that's a little dramatic. All right. And then 12 more people fell, and I was like, wait, are they really killing people on my TV right now? Because if they are, I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Because they already shot the show and I'm at home. But can we make sure that for season 2, they don't kill anybody? Because I'm going to finish the show. It's compelling. But it's just a weird thing. I don't know. It's very unsettling because they make all these people tell the saddest parts of their life and they cut to them in the show and you know they're not going to win. Why are you telling me this is a physical American Idol? Why are you telling me the sad story and you know they're not going to get far? That's terrible. It would be a dude with the biggest tearjerker you could ever imagine. He's like, I'm just want to bring money back home for my cousin. He's got cancer herpes and he doesn't have a real house. He got half a house, so I want to pay for him to finish his house because he get rained on anytime it rains sideways a little bit, and so I just want to have a full roof for him to be under, not half a roof, because he really got like half an umbrella over his head right now, and so I just want to do something nice for him because he donated a bunch of his bones to orphans, and so he already didn't have a good life to begin with. And then they zoom out of the person playing the game and you see he's the shortest man that's ever lived. You're like, he's not gonna get far at all. Physical limitations alone. Why are you getting me attached to his story? Or even worse, they'll interview like a smart woman and you'll be like, they not gonna let her get far at all. She gonna slip up and say a big word in front of him and the dumbs are gonna jump on her. She gonna say one of those encyclopedia words that be like, get her out. She look like she can do puzzles. No, so jarred. Are y'all also following this Gypsy Rose thing? Okay. In case you don't know anything about Gypsy Rose, I'll try to bring you up to speed as quickly as possible. Gypsy Rose is a young woman, used to be girl. She was a girl when all this happened. Her mom has Munchausen by proxy, so her mom convinced her she was sick, convinced everyone else she was sick, told people she was sick, raised money for her because she was so sick. So she was like GoFundMe before GoFundMe, right? And so she was like raising all this money and everything. Then Gypsy realizes, hey, I'm not as sick as you're making me out to be. Around the same time that this happens, right? She makes a friend online. They start dating. That becomes her boyfriend, okay? And then she tells her boyfriend, you need to kill my mom so we can be together. I was not in the room when this conversation happened. But the way that I think it went was Gypsy gets close to this person and is like, you're going to have to kill my mom so we can be together. And then he said, I was planning on killing somebody anyway. Because it took so little convincing. This man is clearly out of his mind, right? Killing a mom should be several conversations. You should have to wear me down to kill your mom. If you tell someone, I need you to kill my mom so we can be together, and they go, yup, you are also in danger. That is absolute insanity. He said yes so quick. That's the reddest flag there is. He said it so quick. Once again, I was not in the room, but he agreed to it so fast. I'm pretty sure he finished her sentence. I'm pretty sure she was like, hey, I need you to. He's like, kill your mama, I got it. And she was like, I was going to say pass the remote, but okay. And so then that's what happens. They meet up and then he kills the mom and then they get caught immediately. They get caught so fast. I was genuinely disappointed in them. I was like, you couldn't make it a day. You got caught. They got caught so insanely quickly. And so then they're not together anymore because then they flipped on each other and everything. And it's hard to stay together when you first 48'd each other. Like, where you just immediately like, it was his crazy ass. I said it at once and he did it. And so then Gypsy got way less time than him and she got out. She's out now. She got like 7 years. He got life because I'm pretty sure she only had to remind him once. I'm pretty sure She only had to be like, hey, that thing about killing your mama, yeah, it's on my calendar. All right. And look, I'm just saying, the main thing that they did wrong, besides killing a person, the main thing that they did wrong is that they didn't really understand the internet the way we don't really understand the internet. So all they did was have the most incriminating conversations online, right? I'm pretty sure they Skyped at one point. I was like, can you stop doing recordable stuff? And so then she gets out, and I saw like a TikTok of her, wishing everybody well, thanking everyone for wishing her well and everything, saying Happy New Year's. And then she said something interesting to me. She was like, I'm spending New Year's with my dad, my stepmom, and my husband. And I was like, husband? And I was just shocked. I didn't know she had a husband. So I looked into it, and she had met somebody, and they got married in 2022. And I looked him up. Have y'all seen the husband? Yeah. Y'all seen? Okay. That man looks more like the Kevin James meme than Kevin James. I was genuinely blown away. There's a picture of him with Gypsy Rose where he's like, and it's not even a diss. That's just his swag, is that like cheeky, everything. And then apparently some people were coming for him online for some weird reason. I have no idea. And then Gypsy came to his defense, and she was like, it's okay, baby. They're just jealous because the D is fire. You know what? I'm glad you had a happy ending. I'm glad you're okay. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Nah, I hope I can back it up. Oh, Lord. Uh-oh. No, this is the thing. I have not been to St. Louis much, but I got in last night. And I've had a great time so far. You have a beautiful, beautiful city. You have a beautiful museum. Lots of stolen art. Lots of, like, y'all got it good. Like, I was looking around like, wow, that's from Egypt. Oof. And he really in there too. That's crazy. Oh, I had some great pancakes. This has been wonderful, and the people here are incredibly sweet, incredibly nice. Yeah, this is like, but y'all have some. Y'all do have some demons, all right? Like this is chaotic. Like y'all have the Midwest nice on lock. I'm just saying, a cut below that, like. A paper cut below that. Y'all are wildin'. Like, so I flew in. I didn't have a car, so I've taken like 4 Ubers since I've been here for very short trips, right? Very short. We're talking less than $10 trips, just over here to over here, because I don't know if I'm gonna make it on foot, right? Like this is not the most walkable city. Like I walked out of my hotel thinking like, I'll just take a walk. And I looked both ways, and I looked, and the way that this truck zoomed past me, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and order, just so I have some armor around me. And the dude driving couldn't have been nicer. I get in, he's like, Josh. I was like, yeah, wow, you really excited, like you know me. That's crazy. Excited to see. I get in and we're talking about the day and everything, and then truly out of nowhere, my man just looks ahead and his whole face changes, and he yells out in the car. So his windows aren't down. Nobody can hear him but me. This is for nobody but him and I. This man goes, it doesn't take 2 lanes to turn right. And I don't know if this is how everybody is driving. I don't know if this is like the 4th time this has happened today. But the way he snapped, I thought he was going to get out of the car. And not like stop the car and get the other guy to stop and get out and fight. I mean Mission Impossible, leave me behind. Get out of the window while the wheel is still turning. This has been, oh wow. Like, y'all really have some people out here where I'm like, okay, all right. That's a real New Yorker. You just don't know it. Like, You've been raised here. So then you're like, no, it's be polite, make eye contact and everything. But then the way that just, there was a guy, okay, so it wasn't even, like, y'all don't have the busiest walkways, okay? So there's only I was walking today. Everybody else was in a vehicle. And so I saw these two guys. I can't remember the name of the grocery store now, but like I was in the grocery store and these two guys bumped into each other and they both like over apologized, right? They both bumped in and he was, I'm sorry, and the other guy was like, I'm so sorry, brother. I wasn't even paying attention to you. And he's like, well, what's on your mind, buddy? And he's like, I just been going through a lot, you know what I mean? Other man was like, well, you know, this is what the grocery store's for, to meet people, to talk about things. I was like in the distance just getting disgusted. I was like, when are y'all gonna fight already? This is gross. Did y'all have a good Halloween? No? Okay. I know it's over, but I'm like the opposite. I talk about Halloween and watch horror movies way longer after Halloween is over. I'm like the opposite of the Christmas people, because some of the Christmas people have already started. They've already broken out the Mariah Carey. They've already done certain stuff, and I'm still stuck on Halloween. It was one of my favorite holidays growing up. And my grandma would sometimes take me trick-or-treating. And my grandma was one of my favorite people. And I remember it was one year she took me, I think I dressed up as Superman or something, and she had me, and she loved to take me places. This is one of my core memories, right? My grandma sees me in my little Superman outfit, and she's like, you go, Superman. And then I did a little cape thing. I was like, yeah. And then she's got me hand in hand, and we decided to, go to a couple houses, go trick-or-treating. Now, this was not the best neighborhood, so there was going to be very little trick-or-treating, period. Like, this is already, anybody who's from a place that is not where you want to stay knows what I'm talking about. So we go up to the first house, and I knock on the door. They open my trick-or-treat, and then they give me a little, maybe 2-3 pieces of candy. And then in the distance, we hear some gunshots. And then my grandma was like, can you give him a couple extra pieces? Because we gonna go back home right now. So this really is. Not to put all the pressure on you, but like, come to think about it, you don't want to be opening your door that much tonight, so you might as well just give him the bag. And so we went back to my grandma's house, and I'm sitting there, and like part of the joy of trick-or-treat isn't just getting the candy. It's like going places, having the adults be like, oh, Superman, I had no idea, or whatever. Just the whole experience. And so the fact that I wasn't gonna get to do it, I was bummed out. I was like 8. I was just bummed out, right? And so after maybe 10 minutes passed, I turned to my grandma. I'm like, Grandma, are you sure we can't go back out and trick-or-treat? And I don't know if y'all who grew up in the South here, but Southern grandmas especially, they turn on you. Very, very sweet people, but as soon as you like cross, they just turn, right? So I'm like, Grandma, can't we go trick-or-treat just for a little while, And my grandma turns to me, she's like, boy, are you stupid? Are you stupid? Did you not hear the gunshot? And then she made me sit there with her, right? And this took all 5 minutes. I don't want you to think she was torturing me or anything. But she sat with me there for 5 minutes and just made me count out the gunshots with her. And every once in a while, my grandma would be like, that's you? That's you too? My grandma cracked me up because, especially anybody who has grandparents knows that in one form or another, your grandparents have lived long enough that they have some arch nemesis out there. They take different forms, but there was this one person that was one of my grandma's arch nemesis. We still don't know who it is, but they would come every Halloween to trick or treat, and my grandma hated that. She never wanted to give them candy because she was like, "That's an adult." Like, he little, but that's an adult. I know an adult when I see one. And then even I was kind of like, "Come on, just this the holiday and everything." She's like, "No, he grown, okay? I don't care how little he is, he grown. There's a holiday for the children. How he come every year and the same thing don't grow, all right? That's an adult." But Halloween also has its downsides, you know? Like I had years when I lived in Chicago, people would come and trick or treat. And there was one year that I heard the trick or treat and I opened the door and it couldn't have been a bigger man. Like it was, I was looking at him and he was looking down at me and he had a bag, but it wasn't even a bag, he had a pillowcase. And he was like, "Trick or treat." And like, I'm not even kidding, the dude, okay, so open door, the pillowcase is out, right? Like, "Trick or treat." And then we stared at each other and after a while he was just like, and I'm trying to look behind him for a kid or something. I'm like, "Oh, do you have any kids?" He's like, "Nah, it's just me, dog." You know what I mean? He looked like he robbed the candy, you know what I mean? Like, and now I got my door all open, my apartment exposed. You know, and so I was like, "Oh, you know, try and make conversation while I fiddle for these mini-sized Snickers." Like, you know how when okay, let's say you are in a parking lot and there's somebody chasing you like Freddy Krueger style and you try to get the keys and the keys won't be keys. See what I'm talking about? Where you like struggling, you're like, "Come on now, come on." It's not even about the key, getting the key in the keyhole. It's about getting the keys in your hands, like getting some purchase on the keys. Like you're like, "Come on, come on." It was like that with the Snickers. None of the Snickers wanted to stay in my hand. I think I had sweat so much from how big this man was that all the Snickers are slipping. So I'm just in my little in the Snickers bag, trying to get a handful, and they just keep slipping through my fingers like they ain't all melted or something. And I'm trying to make conversation like, "What? So when are you supposed to be?" And he was, this is the coldest shit I've ever heard in my life. He was really terrified. He looked at me, he was like, "What am I supposed to be?" "I'm trick-or-treating." I was like, oh God, take the bag, take the bag. Take the whole bag. Oh my God. I've never heard trick-or-treat used as this is what I'm going as. Truly jarring. I don't know if y'all saw, but Sam Bankman-Fried was found guilty on all charges. If you don't know who Sam Bankman-Fried is, he's the dude who looked like somebody microwave Shia LaBeouf. He was behind a multi-billion-dollar crypto scandal, and took a lot of people's money. Had a lot of powerful friends, so he could take a lot of people's money. He was found guilty, and he made a serious mistake. He stole money from rich people. Well, when you think about it, it's really all he did wrong. If you steal from the poor, you're gonna be pretty good off. Like, I don't know. This dude is gonna go away for a long time, which is crazy because I don't really understand what he did. But I'm glad he didn't do it to me. I'm like,
You ever just, because I never got into crypto because I didn't understand it, so you ever just be so dumb you miss a whole tragedy? You just... Because I saw the whole thing coming. I was having FOMO and everything, and then everybody started losing their money. I was like, maybe it pays to not read sometimes. Maybe it's to my benefit that I have stayed as ignorant as possible on very specific subjects in life.